Okay, I'm back. I had a bad connection. Now, I wanted to express how when I was coming up, the transgender was basically in the talent world. Okay, they would do a lot of the stuff like we do on TikTok, lip sync songs, perform to get up the money for them to get their operations done or go through their process. And we respected it, and that's why we supported them. However, today they have accepted it in the work world, okay? So I try my best. You know, I've been through how many generations? Oh, wait. It's been a lot, y'all. The things are different. And they want us to respect them. But where does our respect come in at? As a woman that's been molested, and quiet as kept, I've been raped as well, but I try not to talk about it because it becomes very emotional to me. What about us? So I was startled. And, you know, I'm one that's very calm. So I watch everything and I think before I react. But on that note, I couldn't think before I react because you know what you know. But then I had to apologize because I told him that this was the woman's bathroom. And it was very awkward. And mentally, it didn't sit with me right. So, you know, I want to know y'all thoughts on that. You know, like I said, I've never had any issues with the gay community. I even put them in one of my songs, Long, with me and Rick Ross. I talked about them, you know, because when the club got shot up in Florida, I felt so bad because I hung out with the gay community. And it was like I couldn't sleep at night, you know, so it was like I got to honor them some type of way. I support them when it comes to Pride Week, you know. Because a lot of them are good people. Okay, they're good people. They just, whatever they're going through is what they're going through. You know, overall, they are decent people, some of them. Just like I say in my song, some are doctors, lawyers. You know, I had some good gay friends. Okay? And however, like I said, I'm not going to stop dealing with the gay community. But the transgenders is becoming a problem. And I need to understand how we're going to deal with this. Okay? Because it's like my feelings don't matter. Like, you know, I'm not supposed to be startled if this particular man he was a little taller than me, slim. So, I mean, I could fight him off, you know, because I do have some skills, you know. But my theory is, how about if it's a 6'4", 200-pound transgender that walks through the door and I got to deal with that? How about if it's a man that just want to portray as transgender? Because we have a few of those as well. Matter of fact, when I was in Maryland, it was this transgender, and I was living in a hotel, and this transgender, I'm sorry, I don't know if he was transgender or he was just dressing up to go do his shows, whatever he was doing. But he would come, park his car in a hotel parking lot. He would put on his wig, put on his makeup, drive off. Then he would come back in the hotel parking lot, put off the wig, wipe the makeup off his face, and then drive off. So that was his hiding spot. The hotel. But like we always say, somebody's always watching. And I was one that was always watching. So I saw him pull up. And like, this man come in here every single day. What is he doing? But he was dressing up like a woman. What people do is people's business. But then when you involve others, it becomes a problem. And that's what I'm trying to get to the bottom of. Now, a man can dress up like a woman, he don't even have to be a transgender or gay. But just because his prey is women, walk into the woman's bathroom because he knows it's okay, and that we have to accept it. What do we do? Because we have to accept it. Just try to walk out, scream. I'm just trying to understand the privacy thing between women and men. We get that they have to go through a process. Everything is a process. We get that. However, that process is involving other people. If I can still see that you are a female or you are a male, it makes people uncomfortable. That's one of the reasons why, what is it called? When I first moved to Charlotte, I forgot what it's called, y'all. I'm so sorry. It's it wasn't All-Star Week. Was it All-Star? No, not All-Star Week. Charlotte will always have a big show here. The company of the show did not want the transgenders or gay people using opposite sex bathrooms. They didn't want unisex bathrooms. That's what it was. So they left Charlotte. Charlotte took a big fall when that left. So they moved up to Maryland. But we still have to experience that here in Charlotte. And I just want to know your thoughts. At this point, I feel like I'm not safe anywhere. I used to always feel like I was safe at work. But now I'm starting to feel like being at work is just like being outside in the real world. So I say that to say, what do we do? What do we do? Now, me being molested and abused is on record. It will be on record for the rest of my life. It was in the news. Stuff like that happens to people every single day. And we just don't talk about it. What about those people? That has to deal with mental torment because of whatever situation they've been through. What about those people? It's like we're turning into a one-sided world. And it's not fair. We get that they need to be respected. We get that it's their choice. We get that we need to I'm trying to put it in the right words. We need to figure out what's the next step. Is there enough people that is transgender that they can have a transgender bathroom? And that would be their bathroom that they use? I'm trying to figure out how to solve this issue. Because we can't have a one-sided world. We just can't. And that's just the bottom line. Other people have been through things as well. So, what makes them more special than you? We're both human beings. So why is it I have to be subjected to that because they say so? It's not fair. And then if we direct them wrongly, we have to apologize. I get that they've came a long way. I get that. I get that they've been through a lot of battles. I get that the world is trying to open up a door for them so they can live a regular life like regular people. But we have to come to some type of agreement and understanding, because you start to violate someone else's privacy. And that's just the real to it. So, what do we do to fix the situation? Because all of us are human beings. And nobody should be tormented. They shouldn't be tormented, and we shouldn't be either. So I felt the need to bring awareness to this because I had to experience it. And I felt awkward. 52 years of my life I've lived. Been in the public all my life. And I had to experience a transgender walking into the bathroom while I'm in there. I felt very uncomfortable. And then I had to apologize because I told her that they were in the wrong place. So I'm trying to understand. I'm just trying to understand. Somebody needs to talk to me and make me understand where it's okay to just say F me and my feelings and what I've been through, to honor them. Someone has to explain that to me. I just don't get it. I need the knowledge of who came up with it. It was okay. If you're not fully transformated, you should not be in the same room with the opposite sex when it comes to using the bathroom. You know, a part of my life, I hung out with gay people too because I couldn't understand why the man raped my brother. So I wanted to understand a theory of same-sex relationships. I'm a firm believer you can't knock someone until you have the knowledge of what they are going through or what they've been through. A firm believer of that. Research and study. Now, like I said, I got a lot of gay friends. Still do. All of them are gay for different reasons. However, it never changed to where, even with my gay friends, if I was changing my clothes, I would go in another room to give them the respect, even though they do not deal with women. And to respect myself, because it's still a man. And we have some gay men, they dress up as women, but they take off their stuff and you know that they're a man. And they will present themselves as a man. In the real world. The other world is like a costume for them, even though they are gay. So that's why I'm trying to understand, and I need someone to explain it to me deeper. Because I was very, very, very uncomfortable. And I know a lot of other people are experiencing it as well. Especially if they've been molested or raped by a man. Being raped or molested or... let me tell you, I don't know if I told y'all this story. I was on a train. I used to work at the post office on 34th Street. I used to work overnights. I was in college during the day and working at the post office at night. I got off work, got on the train, on my way uptown to the Bronx. When this man, I was so sleepy, because I'm going to school and I'm going to college. I'm going to college and I'm working overnight. I was so tired. I was just tired, burnt out tired. So I dozed off on the train. I dozed off. And it's common. We all sleep on the train because we be tired. And the rides be so long and it stops and, so you drift off to sleep if you're tired. And when I opened up my eyes, this man was masturbating in front of me and just staring at me. So this man, he was like Leave her alone. Leave her alone. And I got so afraid. I was so afraid that the man saw it in my face. So he grabbed me up. And because I froze. I was just like, how is this happening to me? Why is this man doing this to me? And it's in the public. That's why mental illness is a terrible thing. So he grabs me up and he's like, come on, get off the train. So he pulls me off the train. He said, we're going to find a cop and report this. So we find the cop, right? I'll never forget this day. I had on a farmer overall. Okay, y'all know what a farmer overall looks like. Okay? And for those that don't, I'm going to explain it to you. It's jeans. Well, they come in jean and some of them come in regular material. But it was jeans. It pulls up a flap and you hook them on both shoulders. I was fully covered. Okay? Fully covered. And the police officer said, well, what did you have on? I said, sir, it just happened, what I have on right now. But what do I have on got to do with this man masturbating in front of me? So what he was trying to tell me is, I made him do it. How did I make this man pull out his penis and start masturbating, looking at me, and I'm asleep? Make it make sense. So the other officer looked at me and he said, where you coming from? I said, I'm coming from work. I work at the post office and I go to Toro College during the day. And he said, a lot of people out here that's sick. Well, we're going to do a report. What does he have on? So I had to tell him what he had on and whatever the case may be. They did the report. But don't you know, from that day, I didn't take the train any longer. When I go to New York and I'm in New York City, as far as I can go is 2 stops. 2 to 3 stops max. And I don't sit down. Reason why I don't is because I'm still traumatized. Even when I lived in New York, back in 2013, for that short period, my kids would say, let's get on the train. And I'd be like, no. We're going to drive where we need to go. But then I overcame my fear a little bit, and I had faith. And I told him, I said, okay, well, what we're going to do is park the car, and we'll ride 2-3 stops and max. That's it. I took a train ride here in Charlotte, and I still had that fear. Even though this is not New York State. But I know it's a lot of mental ill people here. I sat in a corner on a train by myself. I did sit down. So I overcame that. And I looked at every single person's face on that train. And I can still see, to this day, every person's face on that train. My trauma has taught me to visualize and keep it in memory before anything happens. My mind and my trauma taught me to look at each and one of these people's face and put it in my brain. Photographic memory is what they call it. I had to create a photographic memory of every person that stepped in and off that train. And I see it just like it was yesterday. Because of my trauma. I'm not the only one out here that has traumas. There's millions and millions and millions of us that has trauma because of what men or even women have done to us. Because they're demons. So why do we have to be subjected when we have traumas? 80% of the world have traumas, and especially sexual traumas. This is why Law and Order came out with the rape victim unit. Because it was so common, so many people, so many women has been traumatized because of rape and molestation and stuff like what I experienced on the train. People putting stuff in their drinks, raping them. So I just want to understand, and I need someone to explain it to me. How does it make it right? How does it make it right? This is the new world that we live in, and how do we make it right? Because we don't want them to hurt, but we don't want to hurt either. So it's like a battle. You must choose yourself. But I'm not going to allow myself to lie or mistreat them because I got to think about me. So some way, somehow, it has to be fixed. And I say that companies that honor it should also honor another bathroom. And I think that will fix the problem. Because then we won't have to be in their privacy and they don't have to be in ours. This world has changed so much. To where they're begging people to teach so we can go back to the old world that we knew. Where everyone was happy. I'm not saying everybody was honest. But we lived a happy world. Okay? We didn't have to worry about people trying to hurt you because they are, how can I put what I'm saying? I had to get hurt at work in order for this person to fulfill the needs that they have requested. It's got to be a better way. It's just like dealing with different cultures. We have the Native Americans. We have the Europeans. We have the Hispanic. We have the Jamaicans, Africans. And all our cultures are different. Now, we love to learn each other's cultures. But that don't mean we have to be invited into their culture. Because we have two different outlooks on life. We respect their culture. They should respect ours. If they want to be invited in, we can invite them in and show them. Just like myself. I'm Native American and I'm Hispanic. I live both lives. All at the same time. It took me a long time to learn my Native American life because I didn't realize some of the things that I was doing was because I was a Native American. Because it's in your soul. You move by your soul. And your ancestors. So it's like, okay, well, this feels right. I don't know about y'all, but this is where I feel right at over here. Like people would say to me, they call me a white girl. And I told them, I said, I'm not a white girl. I don't know what you're talking about. If you ever meet a real Native American, they're very humble people until you get them mad. Very humble and quiet people. They pay attention. They listen. They learn. That's what we do. We're not the rowdy, go crazy, like to be around a lot of people. We're grounders. We love nature. We're grounders. It's just that's just the gist of it. I got the dancing part from my Hispanic side. I'm always dancing. I love music. They love music. Even though I don't always be dancing to Hispanic music, I dance to any music because I love music. If the beat is right and it hits my soul right, I'm going to dance to it. I can understand why my family, all of us, we all be dancing. That's what we do. Dance, 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 dance. But then we also like to be quiet, alone with nature. So, it's crazy because I had to be judged a lot throughout my life about who I was. And I didn't even know who I was until recently. But once I learned who I was able to understand why I'm the person that I am. But I'm not a white girl. Because my people were here before the Europeans got here. This is just how the real Native Americans are. You have different tribes that did different things. The tribe that my family came from, they were laid back people. And they prayed a lot. I mean, I know I laugh about it, but I tell y'all all the time. First thing my mother gave me when I can read was the Bible. She said, "This is all you need, and you'll make it through life." And I looked at her. I said, "Okay." So I started to read. Then she bought me some encyclopedias. She wanted me to read. It was a gift and a curse because I learned a lot of knowledge that other people didn't learn. So they wouldn't even understand me. They don't even understand how I move because of the knowledge that I had embedded into my brain. So I get, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I get, what being different is like. That's why I never looked down upon the transgender or the gay people. I never looked down upon them. I accepted them as a human being because I know what it's like to be different. And see, that's the problem. When you're dealing with people that's different, they outlook on you is different. And that's something that I had to experience all my life. I had always got good grades. Whatever sport that I was doing, I did well. Even when it came to my business that I just recently built, I wanted to make sure I dotted all my I's and crossed all my T's. Why? Because I was taught different. I was taught to read, understand. Don't speak unless you know facts. I was taught to listen. You know what I'm saying? You play dummies. You play dumb, you catch dummies. It's real. Sometimes you just sit back and you just listen. So yeah, I was always looked at as being different. I mean, I still was popular because I was different. They used to call me silly. Jackie's so silly. She always making you laugh. When she come around, she make you happy. She dance. Tell us her stories in her life that she's experienced. We love when Jackie come around, but I don't always stay around. I stick and move. You know why I stick and move? Because that's what I was taught. You never stay around too long. Give people a chance to miss you. Just like they took me away, held me hostage on other side of my building at work. I was very unhappy for the last week and a half. But I knew they couldn't hold me forever. So I dealt with it. And when I came back on my side today, people's faces lit up when they see me. Because I try to make people happy. It's in my nature to be happy. Because we allow God to deal with any challenges that we have, so we should not worry. And I've learned that at a young age. You go with the flow. But certain things you just can't go with the flow on when it's making you uncomfortable. So believe me, I know what it's like. Everywhere I go, I've been very popular, which is a part of being different as well. But it's also a challenge. You got your haters. You got your people that don't like you just because it's you. You got your people that look at you and say they don't like what you got on, so they can't stand you. You got people that look at you because they don't like your demeanor for the moment. They don't like you. That's what a popular lifestyle gets you. Some of us is used to it. Some people can't cope. Me, I'm used to it. Sometimes I just look at them and laugh. And it's okay to be different. There's nothing wrong with being different. And that's why we accept the gay community, because even though they're different, they got swag with them. They got love with them. They'll love you just like another human being. They'll be there for you. I had a friend, I'll never forget. One of my friends, he's gay, and his mate. When I wanted to get away, I would always go to them. And I'll never forget, I had a bad allergy attack. This is how I found out about Zyrtec, actually. I had a bad allergy attack. I mean, I was so sick. My face was in pain. Like, oh my God, I thought I was going to die this particular day. And I said, I guess I'm going to be with these people because I was feeling bad. So I told him, he was a doctor. Worked at one of the hospitals up in Buffalo. And I told him how I was feeling. And he said, you need to go get some rest. I'm going to get you some medicine. And, I don't trust nobody. Y'all know that. A lot of people that know me know I very rarely trust you. So if I trust you, that means I love you, okay? So but getting back to my story, my friend ran me a bath and told me, he said, you go in there and you take you a bath and get yourself together. I said, okay, I'm going to try. So my head was hurting me so bad, it was just pounding. So I got in the bath, and he had a jacuzzi. So, I was enjoying myself. So I got in the jacuzzi and, got myself together. And when I came out, he had a pill and some water on the table. And he said, you take this and you go to bed. And I said, okay. And I took the pill and I drank the water. And I went to bed. And when I woke up, I was like brand new. Okay? I said, well, what was the pill that you gave me? And he said, I gave you some Zyrtec. He was like, it seemed like he was having an allergy attack. So I wanted you to take a bath to get all that pollen and everything off of you. And you did that. And I gave you the Zyrtec so that way you can, get better. And I did. I loved him ever since because he made me well. Haven't seen him in over, I would say maybe 15 years. No, it's got to be longer than that. I'm sorry. 17. I would say maybe 22 years maybe. I'm sorry, 22 years. But if I see him today, I would give him a big hug and still tell him I love him for helping me. Because without that pill, even to this day, I can't function. I'd be sick as a dog. And that one little pill helped me. And he gave it to me. So that's why I say y'all can't make it seem as I dislike the gay community, because I don't. Because they've always been in my lives. I can run down so many names, but it's not y'all business of all of the gay people that I know. But I'm not going to be criticized or being mistreated because I have to deal with transgenders and be subject to some of the things that they have implemented, and we have to deal with it. It's not fair. It's just not fair. And I need to understand the theory. So y'all can always write me at Deja0717 @ymail.com. If you have some type of understanding of why they have implemented this in our new world, in our new millennium world, because I need to understand it. I need it to be broken down to the fullest. Because I've been through some traumas too. And I had to go through a process of trying to heal my traumas. And some of my traumas has never been healed. When I was living in Maryland. No, let me go back a little bit. Okay, I was living in Buffalo, and I was living in New York. Every Halloween, okay, because this is the time that this man that hurt us came into our life. Okay, I'll never forget it. Coming home after trick-or-treating, and he opens up the door, and I'm like, well, who are you? Don't want to get too in depth, but that was the day that changed our lives. That was the day. I'm sorry, y'all. That day changed me and my little brother's life. I mean, we knew who he was, but we expected my mother. He was already hurting us. And it was like every time we went home, it was hard. It's hard to explain. I had a few people that want me to finish the book. And I told them that I can't. It's not that I can't. I know I can, but I'm afraid that at my age right now that I can possibly have a heart attack doing it when I go through the full steps of everything that happened. Well, as y'all could witness, I'm still not healed from that. It gets better sometimes, but I'm still not healed. But when I got to Maryland, there's something about Maryland that took that pain away. I was able to enjoy myself a little bit more. I was able to be a little bit more free with my children. It was just something about Maryland that opened up my heart and told me that we would be fine. With me going through that trauma, affected the way I deal with men. My daughter's father was with me for 17 years. And there was times where I didn't even want to be bothered with him, but because I'd be going through the trauma stage of what I've been through. But he wouldn't bother me, you know. He was accepting of what I've been through. And that's why I loved him so much, and I tried to help him so much because he understood. My ex-husband didn't understand. He just couldn't grasp my pain. My daughter's father, he's a witness to, he would come in to stand over me. You know, I don't know, sometimes he'd be putting the covers on me, or if I eat and leave my plate on my nightstand, he would come to get my plate, and I can feel the energy and wake straight up, and I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to fight for my life. Can you imagine what it's like to always be ready to fight for your life? They even asked me at work. One of my supervisors walked up on me. And I turned around, ready to fight. And he said, "What's wrong?" And I just told him, I said, "I'm from New York. You know, we always have to be ready." And I'm always ready, even when I'm sleeping. Because of the trauma that I've been through. And I never understood what made men want to rape women. I never understood what made men want to rape kids. And to this day, I still don't understand. So I hung out with a lot of gay people because I wanted to understand. I needed to understand. And you know what they told me, a lot of them? That they were raped too. And they were molested too. And that just brought me closer to them. But the only thing was, my brother was raped, but he didn't survive. They survived. My brother didn't survive. He lost his life. And I had to witness it. and go through it with him. That's the only difference. The man that hurt me and my brother, I don't date light-skinned men too often. The lightest man I've ever dealt with was my son's father. When I see high yellow men with gray eyes, it bothers me. I very, very, very rare be around high yellow men. And I just couldn't date a white man at all. Because he was closer to white than he was light-skinned. His skin complexion. And I go into a traumatized state when I see these type of people and they had nothing to do with it. It takes me back to the day that this man was abusing us. So I'm always ready to fight. That's what my trauma did to me. I was talking to a manager today at Family Dollar, because I used to work at Family Dollar. I was a manager there. And he's a manager there now. And I was telling him how, I always had to be ready. He didn't understand, what I meant. And I told him, I said, I was walking the floor. I was actually facing the store at the time. And I walked the floor because I knew it was some people in the store. So I walked, and when I turned the corner, they was right there. And I went into a karate pose, ready to hit him. And he was like, whoa, why you, and I was like, I felt your energy coming around the corner, and I didn't know what you was doing because y'all was a little too quiet back here. He was like, wow. He was like, yo, you on point. And it was like, I told him, I said, if you only knew. If you only knew. The point that I'm trying to get at is I'm always ready because the trauma, this has me, my soul at guard. That's why I tell people, especially at work, I just sometimes just stay to myself because I like to be alone. But I can't afford to be alone in certain places, However, they'll know when I like to laugh and joke around and play, and then I get serious and I do my work. But I keep a happy spirit because, people say, oh, you're such a happy person. Like when I used to work at Frito, they would come, you be having so many problems, Jackie, sometimes, but you still smile. And I say to myself, if they only knew what I've been through, sometimes all you have is your smile. And to make yourself happy, find a way to make yourself happy. So when I look at some of these people that's evil and mean, and do stuff to people, it takes me back into that trauma. Because you're doing evil stuff for no reason. Why? What is making you do these things and making you say these things? So right now, like, for me, it's like really hard. Y'all don't know how bad I want out of my job, but I just can't afford it. Oh my God, I don't want to be subjected to none of the stuff that they got going on. None of it. This is the God honest truth. I just can't continue to be subjected. But financially, I can't walk away. And I'm trying my best to sell my copyrights. I want to sell my trademark. I pray on it every day for God to open up a door that will get me out of this demon place. And they walk around like, so what? And I just look at them like, wow. But the thing that I cannot do, I'm able to deal with all the other nonsense. Because in the end, God gonna take care of them anyway. But the one thing I can't deal with is trans walking in the bathroom when I'm in there because of the trauma that I've been through. And they have to respect that. They have to respect it. Because I've been through too much drama and it's on record. It's not nothing. We know people make up stuff, but mine's is on record. It's public. It's public. I'm not going to be subjected to dealing with the trauma because of I don't know if it's a North Carolina law or if it's just the employment law or what they got going on. I can't do it because I'm still not healed 40 years later. I'm going to have to always be at guard, ready to fight for my life when I use the bathroom. I can't even use the bathroom in privacy. There's been times where I went into the bathroom, and this is no joke what I'm telling y'all. I've went into the bathroom, there's no toilet paper. I'm not going to pull my pants all the way up because I don't want those droppings going into my drawers. And I have to step out to go into the other stall to get toilet paper with my pants hanging off my butt. With a woman walking in on me, it's a lot different than a man walking in on me. Even though we have gay women, but for a man to walk in on me and my pants is halfway down because we're out of toilet paper and I got to go to the next stall and get it, invades my privacy. So this is why I'm trying to understand. Y'all need to make me understand. So once again, my email is deajah0717 That's Deja0717 I need to understand where this is right. Y'all have to make me understand this because I've been personally through hell and back when it comes to men. Since a child. So, please, somebody write me and explain to me what makes this right. This is Jacqueline Richardson, Miss JJ Diamond, Jackie Deja, whatever y'all call me. I love y'all, and I'll talk to y'all soon.